What's up guys, Ghost here. So today I wanted to show you guys a quick little guide on how to get the best performance out of the Battlefield 2042 beta if you happen to be playing on PC, which settings you want to turn down or which ones just simply aren't worth it. This is going to be super quick and it's super easy. So let's head into the options here, go over to display. I have messed around with borderless and full screen. I can't tell that it makes any difference in FPS for me personally, so I prefer to play it with borderless, but if you want to use full screen, go ahead. Of course, you want to set your resolution and your maximum refresh rate of your monitor. Field of view is a bit of a personalized one. Bear in mind that the field of view value here is the vertical field of view and not the horizontal. So around 59 or 60, I believe, equals 90 field of view on the horizontal axis. So put that to whatever you like. Moving down here, turn off motion blur, turn off these four here. Nobody really likes those, they're just cinematic effects, so get rid of those. And when it comes to the graphics preset, just put everything down onto low or off if you possibly can. And then moving down to the advanced section here, dynamic resolution scale, turn that off. NVIDIA reflex low latency, you can put that on if you happen to have an NVIDIA card. It might help with your responsiveness a little bit. Future frame rendering, I have tried this on and off. I can't tell that it makes a noticeable difference to my FPS, but maybe try it for yourselves and see if it makes a difference. And vertical sync, unless you're using G-Sync or something, you'll probably want to have this off. High fidelity objects you want to set to low as well. Now just to show you guys the difference, that it doesn't really look bad at all with low graphics, this is what the graphics currently look like on low, and now I'm going to go ahead and set it to ultra and show you guys the difference. Alright, so this is ultra, AA is maxed out. This is the difference between ultra, and this is what it looks like back on low. I think we can all agree it really doesn't look bad on low, and this gives me about 30 frames. With everything on ultra and sitting here getting about 85 FPS, if I crank everything down to low, I'm getting about 115 FPS. So in my mind, it's definitely worth it. The game is definitely not as optimized as it will be hopefully for the main release, so you know, I recommend just trying to get the most amount of frames out of your system that you can. For reference sake, I'm using a 9900K and the 2080 Ti. So definitely not the best rig out there, but definitely not one of the worst either. Probably something similar or maybe even a little bit better to what many of you will be using. Now if we go take a look in afterburner and core temperature here, you'll notice that I've just dropped down here. This was when I had the low graphics, so my GPU usage is like around 70 to the high 80s, and then once I cranked it up to ultra, it's been sitting at about 95, and now we're back down to sort of 85. So even with all the graphics on low, it is really utilizing and, you know, hitting my GPU pretty hard. However, all 8 of my cores here and 16 threads are only sitting at about 50% load most of the time, which is kind of a surprise because this game is based on the same engine that Battlefield 5 was on. And whenever I played BF5, this same CPU here was sat at like 80, 90, 95% load on every single core. It absolutely destroyed my CPU, as I'm sure many of you who've played BF5 can attest to. So I feel like they've maybe got a lot of optimization to do on the CPU end of things, and it might not be really pulling its weight, but hopefully we're going to see a few more frames in the final release of the game. Anyway, hope this helped somebody out there. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.